camera still. Good morning, good afternoon, good to see you all. Here we are on day 7 of performance consultant training. So today we have in store for you a fun activity we're going to do straight up. If you are sleepy at 6 a.m. in your time zone, you are soon going to be awake. Um, so we're going to kick off with that, and then we're getting into understanding more on the 5 elements, and we're going to revisit the blocks that you identified on day 2. So when we did the identifying blocks to flow, and we're actually going to unblock them and show you how we do that using the 5 elements again, which will just anchor a little bit more deeper knowledge on how the 5 elements are used in multiple ways, not only in the profiles, but also in our project planning, in our team charters and so forth. You've already seen it in the rhythm that we have. Roger often calls that rhythm the genius spiral. So if you ever hear him say genius spiral, it's referring to that annual, what is our enterprise promise, and our quarterly, what is our team charter, and so on and so on. So, and then we're going to finish today by starting to look at what your offering is going to be to your ideal clients, and have a look at how you can use what we call our jigsaw to decide what elements you're going to bring in, particularly if you're running a longer workshop, like a 1 day or a 2 day workshop. And so we'll have a look at those. And then we'll finish off with just setting you up for tomorrow, where you're all going to be doing a mini presentation. Don't worry, it's not too long, and it is nothing you haven't already learnt and covered on here. It's just going to be a mini presentation for you, showcasing your knowledge on 2 core things. And then we're going to finish the week and tomorrow just recapping, making sure you're really set up for success. Obviously, we have some more pieces we're going to deliver to you in some masterclasses like the PSR. And we can even go a little bit deeper onto some of the elemental things, and we'll have a question and answer kind of session once you've been out there implementing it for some time. So we will go through those. So good to see you all. I think everyone has joined now. Oh,
Donna, we are
thanks,
still
Sally.
missing Clara. So,
Okay. Okay. It's the light, right? It's all in the light. I am going to have to move locations halfway through today, just to the other end of the house, as no doubt when my folks come home, that little creature around here is going to go berserk. So I'm going to move to the other end of the house. And, as you do when you're presenting, if you've had years of online presenting like I have, sometimes it is in your beautiful studio at home, which you guys haven't seen of mine yet. You've just seen my blank wall. But I have a whole room that is a studio setup. Sometimes it's at your parents' kitchen table, and the second half of the session is going to be in the spare bedroom off of the ironing board, because that's all that's in there. So, I've done that in hotel rooms before. Um, a few of us actually were all on a call. Roger was main presenter. He had his room, and then there was a few of us in one room, and I'm like, that we were out of desks. So I said, I'll just use the ironing board. It works well. An ironing board and a bed. No one ever knows, but now you know. But you're getting all the insider tricks here. Um, okay, let's just, while we are waiting for the final people to come on, um, I'd love for you, we're going to do a quick open mic and come around, and I'd love to hear your one word that you are choosing to be in for your energy state today for this session. Let's come to Belly.
Good morning. My one word is excitement.
Nice. Very earth energy word. I like it. Uh, Tina, how about you?
Working hard.
Working hard. All right. Well, that's two words, but we'll give you that. We can always just hyphenate them, right? Working hard, very metal energy for sure. Ross,
Anticipation in a positive sense.
anticipation. Nice. I would say that's, oh, is it earth or is it water? Are you feeling like more of the excitement or more of the I'm open and I'm peaceful?
But more of the openness to whatever's next. So yeah, the openness
Yeah.
and peaceful.
I'm going to go your water. You're in water energy then. Okay. Stephen.
Well, it's just the word that immediately sprung to mind when you said it. It's bold
Ooh, nice.
because
Bold. Yeah.
bold.
What's it mean to you?
Well, because I haven't got my hat on today and I'm bald, but also bold,
Awesome.
which is a blaze word, by the way. So
Well, it's actually wood. But
I've got it under blaze. Oh, it's a blaze character values, as in boldness.
boldness, yeah, definitely on that extroverted side. I'm probably coming from the wood energy that is like being assertive, being professional rather than being passive. But let's go with your Blaze version of bold. I like that. Zoe, what's your word?
Steady.
Ready?
Steady.
Oh,
Steady.
steady.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. It's metal as well. It's like keep going, nice and steady. Yeah, very good. Michael and Linda.
Well, since Bally said excited, I will then change mine to inspired.
Mhm.
Choose an I word. Ignited.
Ignited. Oh, definitely wood for the inspired. That's a wood element energy, and ignited is definitely fire element energy for sure. Okay, and Kim.
哦，我今天一个字应该是期待。
Looking forward.
Looking forward. Okay, and is this like with a excitement or with a peacefulness or with an eagerness?
兴奋。
Excitement.
Excitement. Okay, so earth energy as well. Okay, very good. Which earth element is the home of learning? We often refer to it in wealth dynamics as slow because it's to do with the tempo energy. But you'll also see that it is about learning, being open and porous to learn. Clara, hi, good morning. We're just hearing one word that you're choosing for your energy state in this session.
Curious.
Curious. Nice. Also an earth element. Got a few earth elements here today. Very good. And is Grace on?
She is still outside, but her word is let me see, having fun. Enjoy. Enjoy.
Enjoyment, also an earth element. Okay. So I didn't write them all down, but write down what you said, your word, and when we go through the elements, you're going to learn a little bit more from my perspective. Is anyone here on the call also down the rabbit hole and very ingrained in the 5 elements from maybe traditional Chinese medicine or work you've done before? Not so much. Okay. I'm going to
well,
sound like the expert then.
did I not mention the fire kinders? I think, or was that with someone else?
No, you did
because
to your last
Oh yeah,
one.
because he said about Perkis. Yeah. So
Yeah.
no, I love it. It's all energy, isn't it?
Awesome.
We're just swiveling around.
Very good. And I think I touched on it last week sometime. So I made the very normal transition from being an accountant and a consultant to being a kinesiologist, which my parents are still in therapy about. Like, why did you leave such a practical, stable thing to go and do self-inquiry and energetic and all of that work? So, you know, bless them. Let's hope Dad's not tuning in too much later when he comes home. I don't want to make him regress. But I had a clinic that I did the coaching, kinesiology and coaching together, but all around pattern recognition for people and using the muscle testing to dive into people's subconscious and nervous system to see what those patterns and imprints were. And a lot of it, it's not the complete system, but a big part of it is the 5 elements and also the chakras, because on the body level, not only is there the energetic aspect and the emotional, psychological aspect to the elements, every organ fits into an element. Every muscle fits into an element. Every energy meridian fits into an element. And so it really, when you learn that, it becomes obvious how our body tells a story as to what is going on. And it's actually very integrated. You know, you all know if you stress for too long, right, it's going to impact your body. At the same time, if you neglect your physical body, it can also impact our mindset. If we are fueling our body with the wrong kind of nutrition, or there are chemical influences, that can also create emotional issues. It can create physical issues. So it's all integrated. Sometimes it's easy to say which came first that impacts the other, and other times it's not so easy, right? There's subtle signs there. So I had that clinic for about 5 years where I would see 30 to 40 people a week coming in. And then I realized the people I loved working with the most were the business owners and business leaders. And I was previously, I will not help with business consulting anymore. I'd kind of burnt out. And I said, I'm just working on the personal development side. But they would come in with problems that I could see how I could help them. And that was the point for me to actually say where the two intersect, entrepreneurship and business and personal development. Sorry, guys. You can hear that dog. Personal development, that's where I play, in that space of heart and soul meet serious business. So I did very in-depth stint with learned kinesiology from some of the best in the world. And now it's still a part of what I do with my clients. Those CEOs that work with me, they will get a strong dose of the emotional intelligence coaching as well, sometimes just through conscious conversation. And the more you work with, let's say, the elements, the more you can just start picking up what energy someone is in. Now, I was doing it with all of you with the word you chose, me knowing what kind of energy that represents, but you can also start to tune into it from the conversations, the energy that they're speaking with. And if you're tuned into energy, you can feel it, even if you're on the other side of the world. That's pretty powerful. And yeah, so my clients that I work with in the cabinet, sometimes will say, I don't want to talk business today, Donna. I need help sorting my thoughts out or my energy out. And I use my whole system to navigate through that fast and with precision. So it bypasses the story that the brain wants to tell and justify. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an insight into that. Obviously, the wealth dynamics and system with the spectrum, it's overlaid on the chakras, and with the profiles, which is the 5 elements, and then the various ways you've seen us bring in the 5 elements, you're starting to get a good idea as to what that feels like, right? And even the words from our blaze energies, our dynamo energies, tempos and steels, you already can tell when someone is steely or someone is in their dynamo and so on. So hopefully today and then, some future sessions will take you through a little bit more in depth if you're interested. Okay. So my word would be eager. I'm in wood element, definitely eager to impart as much value as I can to you guys and see how you translate that into the commercial aspect of your business or in your team, right? So that you've got a more high-performing team. Alrighty, so we are going to jump in and do an exercise. Now, Tina, we will need Grace for this one. Is she coming back?
I think she still can join the activity, just not, turn on her screen.
Okay,
She's
she's going to
still-
need to use the computer though.
Oh, let me confirm with her.
Okay. While you do that, I shall get my screens set again. Aditi, can you drop me directly the 2025 PDF manual? Mine is, without me searching, it's just bringing up the 2021. Thanks.
Yes, she just arrived home, so she can use the computer.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. So you will need to open up Miro and oh, hang on. I'm just going to quickly edit something. Gosh, I need my glasses. Just quickly editing before you guys get in and see it too much. Okay. Thought I'd done that. Clearly missed a little step. All right. So this activity that we're about to do, I'm not going to tell you too much about it, but I'll just give you a hint as to when it is ideal to do. This is perfect activity to do before you want people to go into a dynamo space. Maybe you're wanting them to do some strategic thinking, some rapid flow of thoughts and ideas, problem solving. It's a really great exercise to get people present and also to open up some more neuro pathways ready for that. So, I'm just going to let Grace in. So I'm going to need a volunteer. Who thinks they're the smartest person on the call? Is that Grace? No, she was just patting her hair, I think. We'll let her settle in. All right. Okay, even if you don't think you're the smartest person on the call, but you would like to take the initiative and play a game with me, you can open up your mic. Ross,
I love
you're
games.
it.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. So if you can scroll on Miro down to this yellow board. All right.
Yep.
So, all right. So you love games. You ever played like this game?
I haven't, no. I don't think
And
so.
crosses?
Oh, noughts and
Have you
crosses,
ever
yes,
played
yeah.
noughts and crosses?
Yes, yeah, noughts and crosses I've played.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, let's see. If you win, great, you really are the smartest person in the room, and if not, it's just going to prove that I am. So would you like to be the green circle or the red cross?
I'll be whichever one goes second. You go first.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll go green. So you're just gonna have to pick them up and drag it, all right?
No
Now,
worries.
okay, oh gosh, that's easier said than done sometimes. Okay, so all right, you'll go.
Ah, some of the strategy, I suspect.
Hmm.
Check.
Oh, yeah. Wow. No, you could have won just there. Okay, keep going. You'll go.
There's the one.
Boom, I
I won.
won. Okay, so
I won underneath.
oh, you did too. Jeez. Okay, who won first? You or me? You did. All
Yeah, I
right.
did.
So that is actually proving that Ross is the smartest person in the room then. Okay, well, moving on from that then. No, we are going to play a game. Uno momento. Aditi is going to, in a moment, put you into the into pairs. So we're going to do this in pairs, okay? And let me just get up my little scorecard here so I can do it with you guys and my timer. I'm really wishing I wasn't on a 13-inch Mac right now without my glasses. Okay. All right. So we're about to do this little exercise that is testing your intelligence and also your speed as individuals. So we've just realized we're pretty fast, but clearly Ross is more intelligent than me. So let's actually give him a round of applause for his going first and also winning. Yay! All right, so on the Miro board, you will see that there are, gosh, sorry, sharing on this tiny computer. It's going to test my Zoom skills. All right, so on the board, you will see there are pairs over here, right? So we have more than 3 pairs. We actually have 5 boards set up. I think that is the right number. When you go into a breakout room, you will be playing with obviously the person that's in there. Tina, we will need you to play because we need,
Me?
yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to need like you and one other Taiwanese, and then the other 2 will be in another room. I think it will be fine. Okay. So you
Okay.
will find a board once we go in, and you saw how Ross and I played. You will be basically dragging your dots or your crosses onto that. So here's how it works, right? Here's some guidelines. So each pair is going to have 3 templates each to play in a round, right? So 3 squares per team for the pair that you're with. It's already drawn for you. So you're not allowed to begin, obviously, until you go into the room. And then once you are in the room, there's going to be a timer, okay? There's going to be 2 minutes. So Aditi, I'll need you to set 1 minute if you can, and then the other minute will be when they come back. Okay, so that way we'll have a total of 2 minutes. There's not a second longer, there's not a second less. So when you get into the room, your time starts. So make sure that you can find a board, but you will need to go hi to whomever you're playing with. So points can be won by scoring a full line of either the zeros or the green dots or the red crosses. Okay, let me say that again. Points can be won by scoring a full line of either the dots or the crosses. Accepted lines are, so accepted lines are, you can have like horizontal, like we have here. You can have, you know, vertical coming down. You can have horizontal as well. So lines can be horizontal, vertical, or diagonal. The key to winning is to have the highest score of points from your round. Okay, you can only have 3 grids in your room. So between the two of you, there is 3 grids that you're playing. There's no more. So we're going to, Aditi, have you got the rooms set up? Okay. So as soon as you go into the breakout room, I want you to find a board and start playing. And actually, can you make this, sorry, Aditi, is it possible to make it like 2.5 minutes, or is it not 1.5?
Let me
No.
check.
Because you're just gonna have to orient yourself for a board.
So, excuse me, can I clarify? So we need to play like a, because I think I saw the board. There's a
Have
3
you got the board,
different games,
Aditi?
right?
Sorry, Tina.
So every group need to play like a 3 games in
Yeah.
2.5 minutes.
Yes, it'll be, we're trying to get it to 2.5 in this one, but if not, okay, just set it for 2 minutes and then another 1 minute back.
So total 3 minutes.
This round will be, we're going to close the room at 2.5 minutes, okay? So you got 30 seconds when you go in to find it, and then we're going to force the room closed at 30 seconds before you would normally come back. So you'll want to find a board and start playing pretty quickly. All right, so
Do
are
we
you
just
ready?
align the board numbers with the room numbers? Would that be easy? Because
Yeah,
otherwise we won't know which board.
brilliant, Stephen. Oh my gosh, that's cheap. So whatever room you're in, that's your board. Gosh, I was just thinking it's going to be chaos. All right, well, let's take it back to 2 minutes, Aditi. Oh my gosh, these guys are getting more time to think about it than anyone would. So let's go 1 minute for the breakout room, 1 minute to pull you back. So you have a total of 2 minutes to play. All right, let's see. You'll need to add your scores, right? So at the end, you'll need to add up how many rows were won. Okay, see you in 2 minutes' time.
Okay, I'm opening the rooms. Is everyone ready?
Yep, ready, let's go.
Yep.
Okay, here comes everyone back again. Should have run and got my glasses during that time. No, well. All right. So give me a wave, a hands up. Obviously, Michael and Linda, hopefully you were together. So you guys need to play this together. Who got 3 points? Give me a wave. If you got 3 points. Okay, Ross is, Kim. Okay. All right. Who got 2 points? Who got 1 point? Okay, congratulations. Who got 0 points? Okay. And Kim, Grace, did we see how many points you got? Okay.
我们是2分吧？
对，我们应该是2分。Maybe we got 2 points.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to write up the score. So I will need, so each pair will need to add their points together. Okay. So we're going, who was pair 1? Who was this one?
We were number 1.
Okay. So there's 0 points scored on there. Yeah.
1.
Where?
To the right, you see,
The green is
yeah,
in diagonal.
diagonal.
Where? This one?
Yeah.
Where is there 3 in a row?
Diagonal. Diagonal.
Top left to top to the
Oh,
bottom.
sorry. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with my brain today?
I missed it too, so I continued playing
So
even though I
I told
won.
Linda she won.
Okay, so group 1 got 1 point. All right. Group 2, how many?
Thanks to Stephen's
Total,
brilliance, I
I
got
think we got
11.
12. I think there's a total of 20, but I can't.
Okay, I need a number. It's got to be definitive.
20.
Like adding.
Well, because because there's 8 if you fill a whole board, isn't there? Because you've got 3
Okay,
horizontal,
hang
3
on.
vertical.
Just need a score, Stephen.
20.
20. Great. Group 3,
1.
1. Group 4, 'Who was group 4?
2.
How many?
2.
2.
2.
2. Okay. And was that you, group 5, then, Tina?
No, we are in group 3 and 4. So 4 is Grace and Kim.
Okay.
Bailey and Clara. Yeah.
Okay, Clara and Belly, what score did you get?
Well, in the last go.
Just a number. I
don't
just
know.
need a number. That's all I need. How many?
Okay, 1 then.
1. Okay. All righty.
Oh, sorry,
So,
2. 2. There was 2.
okay, guys, this is not hard. You just need to add up
Perfect.
your little numbers, right? Okay, so we've got 1s, we've got 2s, and we've got 20. All right. Who thinks it's possible to double their score this round? Okay, some people. Yeah, okay. A lot of people. All right, so the second round, I want you to play fast. So we're going to go again, same group that you're going to play with. Aditi, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
You want the same time as well, right?
Oh, let's go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Same time. Let's go. Okay, we're back. Awesome. So All right, who managed to double their score? Nice, a few people did. Some maybe not. We'll know why. Okay, let's get group 1. What was your score?
2.
2. Okay, so you doubled it, definitely. Group 2, what was your score?
24.
24. Group 3,
9.
9. All right, big improvement. Slight improvement on group 2. Group 4.
Maybe
24.
24.
24.
24 also. Well, that was a massive improvement. And group 5?
6.
6. Okay, so some doubled, some more than doubled. Everyone improved on their last round. So well done. And fantastic to those that blew it out the park. Okay, I'm going to update those on the board while you are in the next round. So we are going to do a third round, and some of you already are like, I get this. I know that I can double my score. Who already thinks they can double their score again? Okay, some people, some are not so sure. All right. Okay, so third round, Aditi, let's go into our groups. All right. So, Team Taiwan, you were all in one group there. So, what were the score? What was the score? What were the scores?
48.
48. Did we only have one score?
Yes, because we two
Okay.
work together.
Oh, okay. Interesting. And in the other breakout room, we had 3 pairs in there. So, do you want to shout out what the score was? Let's start with Ross.
Well, I don't know if we're counting just what our initial teams were or the entire breakout room together, but between Stephen and I on our initial board, we had 36.
Okay, so you guys working in a pair. All right, so Michael and Linda.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I interpreted it right. I thought we were going to play.
What was your score? What score did you get?
We got 0.
You got
But
0.
Yeah, but I don't get how you can get more than 3 points. So yeah, I'm
Okay.
looking forward to hear
And
that.
so
it'll probably understand.
Valley and Clara, did you guys play as a pair?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we got 24. I don't know how you can get more than 24, but
24. Okay, let's have a look. Which board were you on, Ross?
Board 2.
Board 2. Okay. So in the third session, is it where my mouse is here?
Yes.
Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I only get 18 on you guys.
On board 2, so each you have 3 horizontal, 3 vertical, and 2 diagonal.
Except you've got a red. Oh, sorry, you've changed colors
So
on.
on
Sorry, no, it's all right. Thanks, Stephen. I
Yeah,
just
so
was
but
looking at the
he's
colours.
wrong though. We've only got 20, we've got 24 because there's like 3 of 8.
Okay,
So it's 8,
so
16, 24.
we've got
Do you want to explain?
alrighty, so I just was confused by the colors, that's all. Okay, so here we go. We have one more final round to go. This is where it's going to test your intelligence and your speed on this talent dynamics, which is all about team performance and seeing how we move from solo to collaboration. And some people are getting creative, some are gone backwards to 0. So this time, do we have a breakout room, Aditi? Can you create me? Just don't give it away, but can you create me? Let me text you.
Yeah.
Okay, so this time, you still have 2 minutes, and let me just find my Zoom screen again. Who thinks it's possible to double your score yet again? Okay, a few hands. I mean, Michael 000, so possibly can. All right, some not so sure. I mean, 36 is, oh no, someone had 48. That's right. Team Taiwan had 48. Okay, so this is going to be our final round. And honestly, I have seen kids work this out with higher points than what some of you lot are doing right now. So blow out those cobwebs. I'm surprised how low some of the scores are. And also, some people are still like really competitive. Yeah. All right. So we know some people think that they can double their score. Aditi, are we ready to go in that room? Fabulous. So same time. Let's see. Final round. 2 minutes. Let's go. Oh my word. Oh my word. Okay, I'm just putting up my protective shield in case anyone hates me right now. All right. Possibly we've got some people that doubled, maybe some tripled, maybe some even quadrupled. I'm just going to let you guys open the mic, and I just want scores at this point. Please don't give me your justifications. We just want scores, then we're going to come and have a look at it, okay? If you wondered why you were no longer heard before, it's because if you were giving me more than scores, you got muted, which Aditi has the power to do. So, scores. Who'd like to share what the score was?
$16.
Okay, Clara, 16, and who are you playing with?
Valley.
Okay, 2 of you just playing on your own?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Tina?
Because okay,
What's the
it's only
score?
calculate
Just the score?
board
Just need the score.
96.
96. Okay. And who was playing to get 96? Was it Tina? Was it 4 of you? Was it 2 pairs?
4 of us.
4 people? Okay. Michael and Linda,
16.
16. And who was playing with you?
It was just us two.
Okay. All right, so that means Ross and Stephen were still playing together, yeah? What was the score that you guys got?
I think we got somewhere like 24, but I couldn't count it in time. We ran out of time.
Unfortunately, I can't do simple calculations when we're on the call like this, but it's more than 24. If you're, I won't say justifications, but it's more than 24. But I can't
Okay.
get a total number because seriously, my brain, I lost count
Okay.
after
That's
the
all
visual
right.
things.
So you could
I-
have potentially in the 30s, maybe even higher. All right, I'm going to
Well,
put 20
yeah,
plus.
higher than that because I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Okay.
10, 12, 13. There's quite a few combinations.
All right.
But my genuine excuse is my brain shuts down after because there's so many different combinations in it that I can't calculate them all.
Okay, I think it's frozen. Let me check.
In that case, I'm going to try and count again.
Just wait for, let's wait for a few minutes. Okay, it's her internet. She's trying to connect.
Okay. Sorry, guys. All
So
right,
I
let's
managed-
break this exercise down.
I did manage
Yeah,
to total
you-
the count to 45, but if there was another round, then I think I could treble that.
Okay, 45. So we're not going to do another round. We're going to unpack the exercise here. Sometimes I will do another round in the room, but because it is difficult to do online, guys, so my apologies in advance. The in-room experience is another level. It's still possible here, but in-room has a whole different energy about it because it's visual, right? You can see what others are doing in the room. So let's first of all, I'm gonna actually, Aditi, if you can put people back into breakout rooms, let's put the Taiwan team in one group, and then let's split the remaining in two groups. And try not to, if you can split up like Ross and Stephen and yeah, well, just those two. We can't split Michael and Linda. So let's keep those two. And for 5 minutes, I'd like you to discuss with each other what were some learnings and distinctions that you got from what you've observed so far without fully knowing yet what, is going to be revealed. What are the learnings that you've got? So 5 minutes. You good to go?
Yeah.
Okay. If you're done early, just come back in. Are breakout rooms working, Aditi? Yep, cool. Efficient team is back.
Thank you.
Oh, everyone's coming back. Okay, that was long enough, hey? It's like, give us the answers.
Hmm?
Right, we've just got 3 more finding their way back. All right, team, everybody is here. You can breathe a sigh of relief we're not doing another round. Oh, I find some parts of that exercise hard to facilitate because you have to be bossy. Um, so let's hear from the groups what some of your insights and learnings were. And then we're going to go over this collectively. Team Taiwan, you were back in the room first. Would you like to share first?
Sure, because through this game, we see all the possibility and how are we going to create like a win-win situation, like how can we benefit to each other, and then also we can see different profile, just do their own job. Like a creator will tell everybody like how are we going to do, and then the accumulator will focus on the details and which color you are going to do, and then the supporter just listen to them and help all just finish all the game board. And also because we also think if our language can, our language ability, if we can be better, then we can ask or invite everybody create a bigger game, or we can win together. And also we think the mathematics is really important because we calculate our points wrong. We're supposed to have like a 218. So we miss the steel energy. So that's really, so four different profile energy for the game is really important working together. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Great observations to see that by profiles. I have to admit, I have taught this many, many times, and not a lot of people actually comment about the profiles. A lot of people are still in the raw energy of what has just happened, right? Versus coming up and looking at it from the profile perspective. So well done, Team Taiwan. Let's come to I think we had Ross, Michael, and Linda in a team. Or no, we had Stephen, Michael, and Linda in a team. And Ross, Clara, and Bally. Okay, so who would like to share from either group?
Just quickly on that note of the profiles, I noticed that when we were sharing, like I shared first what the information was, whereas when Ross did it, he, as the creator, he did it, and then I started moving things back, and he's like, "What are you doing?" Because I didn't realize he'd done it, because the creator's like creating, so just create. So that was my observation. But the observation
Didn't communicate, just did it.
Well, creators can't help it, can they? Really, unless they've got a supporter around, they just keep creating. Although here's this game, do this, do that.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. All right. Thank you, Stephen. Michael and Linda.
Yeah, when it comes, well, it was frustrating hearing more scores than I thought could be possible, and it frustrates me. And let's have fun with the profiles as a mechanic. Okay, what is it that I'm not getting? So the first time we went into teams, I started to hearing, and it was nice to hear that I don't have to figure it out, and I have to ask what's the rules, what is it, and that kind of continued with the rules that I thought it was. Was it really the rules? Have I heard the rules, or is it just an old pattern in me that do it? So I went in with also the reflection of what is it that comes first to mind, but I want to challenge it because it's not going to be successful. So I need to do it together with other people. So it was fun feeling the profile in me with it, and then it kind of shuts out. So yeah, it would be different doing it the fifth time, but I get the point. And yeah.
Linda.
Yeah, I just think it's very interesting because this is kind of, you know, a mind trick. It's so clearly how, I mean, most of us have been playing this kind of game since we were kids. And we have been programmed that it works this way. These are the rules, you follow them, and then you win. Now, when someone starts kind of exploring the rules, could we do it in another way? It actually shows that how some of us are still stuck in the old programming. This is the way we should do it. And to myself, I don't get it. I'm stupid, you know, starting beating yourself up. And what happens with the nervous system? You shut down the creativity. So I just said to Michael, I feel bad for our poor students. I understand what they go through now.
Yeah.
When we're the rules.
It's humbling, right? Yeah. And I think maybe it's just me because I'm watching everyone intently, but Michael, I could see your emotional journey through it. How you were like, "Rrr," and then he was like, yeah, 16. But still with a question mark, like, how are these other people getting even more, right? And Aditi and I, we weren't laughing at anyone. I just said, like, I was even cutting Aditi off, right? I'm like, no, just go.
And I, who sits next to him, I could hear the machinery working.
Love it. Clara, Bally, and Ross, what insights did you have?
Well, from my perspective, when I heard your instructions, the thing that really popped out is what counts is it's a point for each line. So I realized that we were playing to lose and not playing to win. Mm-hmm. And so I was playing with Bally, just two of us to start with. And I was dragging, you know, I was doing the traditionals of just one square, one board. And each time I put two in a line to make the three, she would block me. So in the first one, we didn't do anything. And but it's interesting because I usually get very competitive and upset, and I didn't at all. So this must be working. So the
Well, you
second
did
time,
say your word was curious, didn't you?
yeah.
Perfect.
So the second time, we got it that it was to do the lines and whatever, and but we still didn't get out of the box enough to copy or join squares together or whatever. So we just sort of we ran out of greens or reds or whatever we did. So we couldn't do another one the same way. And then well, it was really interesting because you can think you're getting out of the box, but you're not getting out of the box enough.
Yeah,
It sort of
absolutely.
goes in your mind has its own rhythm of expanding, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Love that expression. Thank you, Clara. Bally or Russ, what would you like to share?
I'm
Go
happy
for
to
it, Betty.
comment. Yeah, I had no idea what we were doing. I was like, what are we doing? And I was like, okay, so I needed a little bit longer to kind of really process, like, and really understand for me without knowing. It was really interesting because what comes to surface for me is I need to know something, like to see where we're going with it. Otherwise, I'm a little bit lost. So I needed a bit more direction for myself. And when it meant there was no rules, it just felt like, so do we make up the rules? Do we just like, what are we doing with that? Do we then so yeah, I was still, I think Linda said that it's these old patterns of programming, and I was like, I don't understand, and everyone else is getting it. I was like, damn, I need longer. My excuse was, it just takes me longer. It's okay.
Okay, yeah. So the criticism starts to come in. I need longer. I'm not getting it. Instead of maybe, what's going on? How come people are getting this? How can I do that too? Ross, what was your insight?
I think it's typical high creator energy. Like when I saw that there was another team that was getting exponentially higher, it was like they've created something that I didn't create, and I want to know what it is. So Tina, I hope you share. But yeah, it was really good to actually get out the box and see that there's
Yeah,
presuppositions that we needed to lose to see how we could
yeah.
go further.
So absolutely. And look, every time you run this, it is a totally different experience. I remember running this in 2019 in person in Bali. And some of you might know Trey Stennett, who he also became a master trainer. Um, and him and I just hit it off. He's very much into the consciousness side of things and that as well. In this exercise, I kid you not, he was like rocking in the fetal position in the corner. It triggered him so much that I couldn't even explain it, where he was like, oh, he was in his neurology of a 4-year-old. And so he had the most breakthrough moment from this exercise. After this, and we did it on day 3 in the program, I think it was, or yeah, maybe it was day 3. He was like a whole new person afterwards, when we looked at what was the neurology of 4. And for him, it was starting to go to school or prep, whatever it is that you call it in the US, and not feeling good enough. All these stories had come up, and his whole neurology just jammed down into this 4-year-old that excluded himself. Star profile, mega star profile, speaks on stages in front of thousands of people, has certainly set the benchmark for the quality of our master trainers. And here he was, just couldn't speak. It was beautiful. And he also trusted me in that. So you have all touched on some of the key things that this exercise teaches you. One being the conditioning. What is it that actually holds us back? Sometimes it's as simple as the belief that we can't do something. I very specifically asked who thinks they can double their score. And you can say who thinks they can triple their score. And so that's the beginning of an invitation to have people go, yeah, even if they don't know how, right? Some will just go, yep, I'm going to figure it out and it's okay if I don't. And others will go, no, because I haven't figured it out yet. So sometimes it's just simply the belief. Other times it can be, as I just shared, our past perceptions of playing games and, needing to know all the rules before we start and all of that. I was very careful so yes, Ross and I played and I did allude to it being competitive, right? Fair game, I did. I even messed up though because Ross won and then I went and put another one in, right? But then when it came to giving you guys, prepping you to do the activity, I was very mindful not to say you're playing against each other. I said playing with. This is who you're playing with. I didn't say playing against. I didn't say the person that gets the highest score. I said the highest score, we want to see the highest, what the highest score is, meaning across all of the groups. I did share the different ways, like horizontal, vertical, diagonal. I didn't share that, and I said you only had 3 grids per pair, right? What I didn't say is you couldn't stack those grids on top of each other. Now, on screen, it's like 2-dimensional, and even in person, you're getting people to draw it on flip chart paper, but people do start to go, oh, what if we folded the paper? Or they rip it out and they put it on top, because then you start having a cube. And so when you have a cube, if it's stacked 3 on top, you start having more rows as well. You don't just have the outside ones, you have the ones going down as well. And so I was careful not to say there are rules. I said, here's how we play it, or here's some guide. So I can't remember the exact word. And what everybody did was went into their default, as some mentioned, their past experience of playing something that looks very similar, right? Noughts and crosses or tic-tac-toe. So the rules from that come in. And this is what happens in life and in business. We go, my past experience that represents this is coming in now. And yes, we'd positioned it. Who's played this before? The way Ross and I played. We set you up in pairs even. That's things that allude to the old way, except I never once said you have to block someone else. You have to stop the other person from winning, right? Subtle things. We also, so that's really the lesson of we can be so easily managed by red tape and rules that just don't exist, right? So be mindful of that. We also think we have to do it by ourselves, right? So it was only took to round 2 and the Taiwan team started joining forces. Sorry, round 3, because round 2 we kept you in the same pair. Round 3 we merged you into two groups. And what happens often in person, sometimes in round two, but very rarely. People are often still playing against each other in round two. Now, as the facilitator, when you're in the same room with people, as you move through round three and round four, I just walk around and say things like, huh, interesting. Geez, some people are competitive. I wonder what collaboration looks like. And I kid you not, people don't hear you. You can be half a meter away from people and they will not hear you. I have been on the microphone saying in round four, and this is when I'll go around five, but let's say even in round three. All right, some people are really embracing teamwork. Others are not. I will say that over the PA system and people still don't hear me. Sometimes I walk up to the pairs and I will say, interesting, you guys are still competing. And they're looking out at all the other teams that have got paper, that have huddled together, that are drawing squares alongside of each other. Because the only rule is each pair gets three of the squares, right? So that means between two people, there's three. So as soon as you have a group of six, there's 3 lots of 3 squares that can be stacked, extended. So if you put them side by side, then you've got rows that go even more. When you start stacking them, I can't even do the maths on it, to be honest. Roger can, but I just say it's a lot. But it gets into when you have a big room, it will get into the thousands in numbers. And so sometimes people have cracked that by round three, but I have never ever seen it where the whole room works together by round three. I have seen it where some pairs come together. Sometimes there's been, maybe half the room comes together and others are still working in silo. Normally it's round four, or if you happen to give a round five, that you see everyone starting to come together. It was hard to do online, right? So Michael, you alluded to that. Like, granted, a lot harder online, but we were trying to stage the rooms where you were together and, hopefully even go, why are they now putting us with others? Or why are we now like everyone versus the first two were still in pairs, right? So it is one of the most fun exercises to facilitate, and again, break through people's thinkings, right? So, it is as we say it is. If we think we can figure it out, then there's a high chance we can. And honestly, you will see people not even stop to look what others are doing, or others will look but don't understand it and therefore stay. And then there's others that will just naturally go, come on, everybody, let's add all of our squares together. Let's like join it together. And then we normally need another few minutes at the end for them to add all the scores up, right? Because you can't do it quickly. So it's an absolutely phenomenal game to blow out the cobwebs. Let's just take some, after hearing that, some thoughts or questions. Tina.
Excuse me to interrupt, but I want to know how we're going to do it in the real, like not online, in the real place. Are we going to put 5 poster or together, or what kind of
No.
material are we going to use?
Yeah. So in person, at the front as the facilitator, you would have ideally 2 flip charts. One that actually, I'll get to one that you're going to invite the person up to play against you. And that's when you got to start getting playful. You start saying, who do you think's the smartest person in the room, everyone? And because they're there, they'll say, Sam, you know, Tina. And you're like, okay, Tina, come on up. And I draw, so nothing is pre-prepared, blank bits of paper. I will draw the square and I'll give you, I'll say, would you like to be, you know, green or blue? And you'll choose. And then I'll say, would you like to be noughts or crosses? And you choose. And like, would you like to go first or second? And, you know, you choose. And then we play. And I do try and make it competitive. You allude to it, right? Then if you lose in the competition, you congratulate the other person for being the smartest. And if you win, you brag about being the smartest. Or if it's a tie, then you can say, well, we are just as smart as each other. And then you ask them to go sit down and you say, okay, here is what we're going to do. We're going to be in pairs, and you write up the pairs' names. So rather than group 1, 2, 3, 4, you would do initials or just quickly write them. And then just leave room to put the scores each time. And then you position it. So this is all in the manual as well, in the facilitator's guide. It is very specific. So I'll show you in here on what to say and what not to say as well. So in the manual, you have here the noughts and crosses, okay? So definitely read over this. Like here it says, do you want to go first or second? And then you play competitively against them, to infer that that is how it is. Then briefing the rules, okay? Before you explain the rules, you want everyone to pair up. So you make sure they're all paired up. And then you jokingly go, you know, remember, Ross is the smartest person in the room. So careful if you go with him, or, you know, be careful who's the smartest people before pairing up. Or no, sorry, not be careful. You want to say, think carefully about who the cleverest people in the room are. Sorry, I said that wrong. Okay, so you're not saying like, be careful. That's the wrong words. You want to say, think carefully about who are the cleverest people in the room. Because people will see it as an avoidance of the clever people, not an idea to collaborate with a clever person. And this by no way means if you get it, you're more smart than everyone else, full stop. But it's alluding to this, right? Then once everybody is paired up, then you give them a flip chart piece of paper, not on the walls, just a blank piece of flip chart paper between the pair. And then I have a pile of blank sheets as well, because you're going to need them to run and get another one sometimes in their rounds. Some people will draw enormous squares. Some people will draw teeny tiny squares. So you give them the paper, give them thick markers to work with. Then you basically run through this with speed. You know, points can be 1, scoring this. These are the accepted lines. This is the key to winning. You can only have 3 grids each, no more. That means per pair, right? And so then lots of questions will start coming up, and you just go, you have 2 minutes, 3, 2, 1, go. And you are on your stopwatch, and it's like people go mad for it. So then it tells you how to run the first, second, and third rounds, and the fourth round. Normally 4 is enough. On occasion, I will run a 5th round, I tend to run a fifth round if no one has moved in the previous rounds. And I really hammer home the collaboration side. I had to do that. Remember, I was telling you all about the room full of Lord and mechanic profiles that I had. These are super smart people, right? And in that, we went 5 rounds. And there was arguing happening. There was like projections back at me big time. Donna, you're not telling us. Why are you not answering our questions? It was full on. I was laughing on the inside so much. And William, who was the CEO, he was looking at he'd played this before, so he wasn't playing. He was looking at me with a cheeky grin, and it was hilarious. So you got to keep pace with it, right? And after each round, the key is getting the scores, congratulating people, quickly moving into who thinks it's possible, to double it. I hope I didn't insult anyone, but you want to get a bit cheeky and say, I've seen kids solve this faster than you lot. My grandma can do this and get such a high score. Actually, you want to be playful, right? And it's just to like keep opening up people. So that's the long explanation, Tina, and everyone, how you do it in person. And let them, if they want to sit on the floor, if they want to work on a desk, it's going to get chaotic, because as soon as people start realizing that they can work together, the time doesn't increase, right? So now you got more people still only in 2 minutes. They're going to scurry over, they're going to be sitting on floors to make it happen, and it's fantastic. All right. Thank you for that question, Tina. Any other questions or comments, or, after hearing my explanation, what do you now get? Yeah, Bally.
I love this exercise. You know, what's coming to mind for me is that because we're doing this together as training, how do companies in that situation with the CEO, how do they reflect on it? Because obviously that triggers that component of competitiveness. It brings up a lot and how do you address that, and what do you get them to reflect on at that stage?
Well, I mean, exactly as I did to you guys. The question is no different. Before you go in, so I'm just thinking of another client I did last December, and the CEO was in on it. He'd never seen it before either. So I put him in it as well. And he was probably the most triggered out of everyone, because he's super smart and he couldn't figure it out either. And there was his head of engineering, he's like a mathematical whiz kid, and he started to figure it out. And I think those two are actually paired up, and just by where they were sitting. And so they were starting to get into it, but the CEO was still like resistant. He's like, I can see he's doing something, but I can't see what he's trying to achieve. He couldn't get it in his mind. So when I asked them, just reflect from your observations of yourself, the way that you were thinking, the way that you actioned, and your experience, what are your observations? You can say insights if you want, but you can just say observations as well if you feel they're not going to, get trapped on the insights word. There will always be some Bally. And if you had to kind of direct it, you might say, okay, let me start. One observation is these guys in round whatever started collaborating. I even heard them say, hey, come over and join us. And you didn't. Or and they didn't, not you, like, and they didn't. So why did you guys pair up? Like, you can prompt it like that, right? There will be lots, and they will relate it back to their work. So I might then say, how can this relate back to you guys as a team? And that's when the CEO, the penny dropped. He was like, we just are limiting ourselves with our thinking. And like, he went from almost like red with frustration to vibrant and excited. I bet you if I still did this exercise with them a year later, I don't know, some would remember, most would remember probably. I'd need some new blood in there to do it again. Who else had some observations? Michael, what about you after kind of hearing the full explanation now? What do you see? Do you think you'll love this exercise?
Definitely. I'll see how I can put that in play, and also, as you said, have this as elaborating, open their minds. You would not look at ordinary problems that people look at to see, okay, how do we do this together? I can definitely see a dozen ways how to do this with our clients or people interesting, how to help them through what they think is a difficult journey, but also for organization. And as you said, looking later at blocks of flow, because you need to have the solution, collaboration hat on, and this will be much fun. The Swedes will start talking to each other. So it opened up so much. So my head is spinning with different things we can do. I love this.
Yeah, fantastic.
Since it creates so much emotions, and I mean, emotions actually move, means, energy in motion, it is emotions. So I mean, this exercise will, since it awakens so many feelings, it will be very effectful.
Yeah. So I've done this before we do unblocking blocks to flow. I've also done this right before we've gone into an OKR planning session. So when we're doing, and if you know OKRs, great. If you followed it through Rogers, he does the OKRs at the personal level. I do them at a company level and then a team level. And then we do them at the personal level lastly. So our 3-day leadership retreat with some teams is really diving into the OKR levels that have been defined by the top level team prior, and then each team is going through it and presenting on it. But you need the mind to go, what else is possible? Otherwise, and particularly in that group that were my heavy steel energies and a couple of strong personalities, that the answer was always no. No, because I don't know how. So when you're trying to set the what, the how is not the next question, right? So it was really perfect to run right before the big OKRs session. Yeah, Stephen.
Couple of quick observations. I don't really, the smartest person in the room kind of thing, I've never really got understood. And I think if you think you are the smartest person in the room, then you're probably in the wrong room or something. I don't know. But also the kind of I have a question that whenever things seem to be going really good or I'm doing good, I get the equal and opposite bad things at the time. So I noticed I didn't put when you said, can you double your score? And I was like, I didn't put my hand up and stuff like that. And I've been realizing over the last few weeks that, I mentioned like other issues that I'm letting those affect my ability on that. So it's seeing what's happening around you. So I didn't know whether it just seems that whenever you're progressing, that you then something comes up to kind of do it, and it's a kind of test. I think that can you keep strong throughout this?
Yeah. Because you also, it doesn't matter if people don't put their hands up when you do it. Like at least one always will. We want to just keep moving. This is an exercise of speed. So definitely choose a language that's going to work and not
Okay, so
offend people.
to put in context, so yesterday I ended up onboarding the mechanic I was talking about, and we ended up on Zoom for like 2.5 hours, and I'm doing the complete, I'm doing that kind of, yes, of course you could double your score, and that paradigm shifting. But then when it comes to myself the next day, because of that, I'm not seeing it in. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because and it's just so annoying. It's frustrating because I've done this for so many years, yet I've still got all these, as you say, like limiting beliefs, and that obviously there because I'm not putting my hand up. I should have put my hand up and gone, yeah, of course I don't know how to do the score, but there's obviously a way. Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking necessarily. I don't know.
Good observation. And you're not alone, Stephen. None of us are walking on water. All I say, and I know clients that work with me, people who work with me before, I always say there is only full self-realization and various levels of denial. So meaning we've all got room to grow. Yeah, it's such a great exercise for that. All right, everyone, let's take a break. Is 10 minutes long enough, or do you want 15? 10? Okay. 10 minutes, have a stretch, grab a drink, and we'll see you on the hour. Well played, everyone. Okay, welcome back, everyone. It's now 8 a.m., a reasonable time in Europe and UK, right? So you should be good. Fantastic. Well, that was fun. Honestly, it takes an hour to run. You can maybe run it. It can run quicker. It can run in maybe 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how many people you have, and also how much conversation it brings up and whether it's worth you like exploring that more. Fantastic exercise. So let's keep the learning going. And I want to move on to unblocking blocks to flow. So there are two exercises here that you have as a choice, okay? What I mean by that is we've already done the identifying blocks to flow, so we are going to do the unblocking. If you didn't do unblocking blocks to flow, sorry, if you didn't do identifying blocks to flow, at the point in the workshop where you are wanting to have like a solution focused and a next steps on your key projects focus, you could do what we call a rapid flow exercise. So, and I'm just sharing that with you now because we'll touch on what rapid flow is tomorrow. But you would normally do one or the other. Okay, so we're going to do unblocking in this context. This is you can still split people back into their original teams, right? Even though we've brought all the blocks together on boards, maybe on your flip charts, hopefully if you're doing, you know, a 3-day workshop, they haven't all fallen down. You want to make sure that they got a little bit of tack on them. If you get them back in the teams, it would just be to kind of have discussions, right? Otherwise, you kind of want a bit of a flurry going to the boards. What happens is you get each person to actually go up to the board and essentially take down their sticky note that they no longer feel is a block. So let's do that. Let's actually go into the Miro board and find mine. Go right back up to day one and find our identifying blocks to flow board where we've put them into categories, right? I'm just going to share quickly and then I'll let you guys go back to your main screen. So this is the board that we're wanting to find, and you might, so remember which ones are yours. You know, Bally, who was blue, she might go, I think Bally was blue. Why can't I zoom in? She might say, okay, I feel this is no longer a block. I'm gonna delete it, right? Make sure you're only deleting yours, not someone else's. Now, you might not have solved it, but you feel that you have all the resources to solve it, right? It no longer feels like a block. Maybe it feels like a to-do still, but it's not something you go, oh my gosh, this is actually blocking us. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to find your colored post-it notes and actually wait before you do delete them. Hang on, people. Let me take a shot of that. Okay, go and find your blocks. I'm going to copy it over here and start removing them.
I'm sorry, can you just highlight the things we're supposed to do again? Because I had a personal issue I had to deal with and missed it.
Sure, we're just on the identifying blocks to flow board that we did.
Yeah, so I'll split. So when you remove, is it because you remove it because you've either found a way to deal with it or it's not an issue anymore? Is that right? Or
Yeah, yeah,
do you just delete it?
yeah. Now, obviously, if you're doing it when you're doing it in the teams, they're going to have a discussion too, right? Like, at times they'll. Hopefully, we've still got some things on the board, but this is the easy part of unblocking.
I just think I have more awareness than like. Okay, I may have some ways to deal with it, but I wouldn't remove not enough to remove it, or is that not
Yeah,
the
so leave it
task?
there if you need then. I think someone's maybe needs to click out of their square or they're moving the whole board or hit escape. Oh yeah, that looks better. Okay, we'll go 30 more seconds. Says the creator who expects to count 30 seconds in her head. All right, that shall do. Let me just put this into context for when you're delivering it, okay? What I've just done there works well when we are different people coming together where we're not a part of the same team or the same company, right? Because you've already got like ownership over your tasks. What I would tend to do in a team environment is go to the board and recap. These were the top 3 priorities that we said we'd identified were blocks to flow, either as a theme or then inside that theme as well. And we would discuss whether they still believe that is a priority, whether they still believe it is a block or not. And if they don't, then you can remove it all or you can remove parts of it. If they do, then we leave it there, right? And we can, however, ask them, do they still believe like these are the top 3? You know, we've got marketing, financial, mindset that's there. So let me just have a quick. Oh, sorry, we got mindset, teamwork, and marketing were our top 3. Let me just have a look. Okay, so leads and disconnection from the market were the top ones there. And then mindset, we had don't have faith. Okay, had a lot. So I'm going to come over to the marketing ones for the purpose of this exercise. So I was just checking questions. Tina, sorry, I think the answer to your question is going to be in that facilitator guide.
Oh,
It
okay. Okay,
shows
thank
you
you.
how to draw it on the board. Okay. So if I come to the marketing one, okay, what we're going to do here is use the 5 elements to unblock the blocks to flow. I'm going to do it in its simple form. And then we can expand on understanding about the elements more. So if I come to this diagram, which is just to the right of the blocks board that we've got, this is a reminder of the questions and the 5 elements, right? So if we are in Chinese medicine, if we are wanting to accelerate flow of energy through the body, then you are essentially flowing in this direction. Well, this is the normal flow, I should say, from water to wood to fire, earth, metal. Okay, the questions are why, what, who, when, and how. If you are wanting to accelerate, then this is the inner star formation. So acceleration is going from what to when to why, and so forth. We're using it to unblock, right? And in Chinese medicine, there is also the reverse. You know, if it's flowing in the opposite direction, it's a blocked flow. There's also the destructive flow. So where it's going the wrong way in the stars, you know, if it goes from fire to water, and so forth. So let's look at this in a context of leads, for example. So we've got 2 here with a high vote. So we've got leads and then we've got disconnection from the market. So who here on the call still feels like getting leads into their business is a potential block? Do you want to give me a thumbs up? 1, 2, 3. Belly's got double thumbs up. Okay. Who is really okay at getting leads, feels like they've got enough leads coming in? Okay, we're going to do this a different way because I just want to get a voting. Can you type yes or no in the chat? Who feels that getting either enough leads or the right leads into their business is an issue? Yes or no?
Excuse me, can you repeat the question again?
Who feels that getting enough leads into their business or the right leads into their business is still an issue? We want a yes or a no. So, Tina, can you help with getting the answers in? We need 10 answers or 9 answers.
Okay.
Those that have put it in. Bally, what does it mean to you? Where is it the quantity of leads, the type of leads?
It's the type of leads for sure for me. That's missing.
Okay. Stephen, what does it mean to you where it's a block? You need to unmute. Yeah. If you're talking to me, you're muted still.
Sorry, caught me having a bit of breakfast. So I can't get leads at the moment because I haven't defined what leads, what the actual business is at the moment. I'm still in that pre stage, and I'm not the person who's going to find. That's why I'm working with the mechanic.
Okay. All right. So it's just not yet. Okay. Michael and Linda, what does it mean for you?
Well, it is a combination of Stevens and Bally's, because since we're restructuring, changing some of the products and things, so we need to redefine what leads, and we're a bit unsure what leads to focus on. So
Okay, redefine and when you say what leads to focus on, do you mean as in who is the ideal client or?
yeah, exactly. So we're kind of
Okay.
redefining that. So that's why.
Okay. All right. Who else said yes? Clara, what does it mean to you?
Okay, so I'm also sort of pivoting, but I guess I have another limiting belief, which is my target audience is not in social media, so I have no way of getting to them. And the networking events that you tend to go to, even those that advertise as C-suite people, they're all consultants trying to get C-suite people.
Okay. All right. Got it. Ross, what does it mean to you?
Mine is a bit more of a perception than anything else, because I haven't actually had a chance to flesh this out yet. But I'm combining the reports with AI skills and things like that I've learned to create like an AI type report that'll go out with the Wealth Dynamics tokens, and to market that online. My assumption is that because of how noisy that space is online, that I either will find the clients that can't pay enough to actually buy it, or that the value of my product will get lost in the noise that's in the space at the moment.
Okay.
That
Right.
my thing on the chart, by the way, was the disconnection from the market more than the leads. And the disconnection is there because I've been out of the space for about 1.5 years, 2 years. I need to catch up again in terms of the people, not so much the tech. So that's where that is.
Got it. Okay. Tina, what's happening on your team
就
side?
是 I wanna, because for me, I don't quite understand the question. Do you mean how are we going to get improved to have more lead to get into our business, or we don't quite
So,
understand?
yeah, so this was identified as a main block in people's businesses. So leads and, disconnect from the market kind of, so therefore being attractive to leads, right? So I know not everybody had that voted for that, but the question was who has an issue, who sees that getting either the quantity or the quality of leads into their business is an issue, a yes or a no. If it's not an issue, then it's a no. If it's an issue, then it's a yes, and we're having a conversation.
Okay. Okay, wait a moment.
Do you want to just translate here?
Translate. Yeah, but they haven't get the answer yet. So wait a
okay.
moment, please.
Okay.
有啊，Kim 不是说有吗？
So Kim say yes.
Okay. And what is the issue that he sees?
你觉得这会是哪边有问题？这为什么会是个问题？
就是要有足够的人的潜在客户的名单嘛，然后才会就是找到那个客户的来源，就是他要花钱在我们身上嘛，这样我们才会得到钱这样子。
So 你的意思是说，就是我们要有足够的名单，然后才会有足够的潜在客户去
消费者来消费。
Yeah, because we need to list down we need to have a more enough customers customer list, and we can attract them, spend more money in our company for them. They think that's a problem to find out the customer list.
So quantity? Are we
Quantity, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And Grace and Zoe?
先讲我的好了。
好，
贵
你
子先讲。好，
没有，你先讲。
我想到的是有一部电影叫《华尔街之狼》，它里面最经
哦，
典的名词、经典的一句话叫做“把这支笔卖给我”。
嗯
所以只需要创造需求的话，我不觉得客户数量是问题，而是你有没有创造需求给别人。
Okay. So she think created the need for the customer for them is very important, more than quantity. Quality is more than quantity.
So we're looking for does Zoe have a block? Yes or no? Like, is there an issue around this? And if it's yes, is it the quality is not there, or is it?
Yeah. Yes, if
Yeah.
the quality is not there, and then we won't attract the customer to come. So for her, that's the answer for this question.
The block. So she
Yes,
feels
the
blocked
block.
on getting quality leads.
是吗？你觉得 quality 是这个的问题吗？他现在要问的是你觉得的阻碍是什么？不是你的结果是什么，或是解决的方法是什么？在你的业务里面，你有答案吗？
没有答案。
So far, she has no answer for that.
I'm
For
going
this
to take
question.
that as a no then, right?
Mm,
Because the question is black and white. is there a block with having leads coming into the business?
有
It's
吗？
either a yes or a no.
有没有阻碍潜在客户进入你的就是业务的？有没有任何阻碍是你觉得这个业务就是你要引入他进来是有阻碍的？现在有还是没有？你听得懂这个问题吗？
那我现在要代表 AIoT 系统，还是要代表预先
你自
成长
己啊，
系统？
你自
我自己啊，
己。对，
我觉得没有阻碍啊，因为我
我
做的
和
事
there's
情
no blocks.
Great, that's a no. Awesome. Grace, yes or no?
no
Okay.
No? Okay.
No.
Fabulous. Okay, so here's what we're going to do for all of those that do feel that there is still potentially a block and a block to flow, right? If you don't, then, and you're working with your team, okay, maybe marketing results go down, sales results go down, and it comes back to the issue of leads. Either we don't have enough or we don't have the right type. First thing that we're going to do is let me share my screen again. I'm just going to pick up this one, and this represents also this disconnect from the market, right? And over here on our star, now you can also imagine that this is a square. We can do it from the actual Wealth Dynamics square, but I'm going to come straight to the questions in this format. Is not having enough leads a why question? A what question? Where does it fit? A who question? If you were to put leads on the Wealth Dynamics square, what energy would it be? You want to
If I may
type
ask
in?
a question here, this has just triggered something that I've encountered several times when I've been using the tools, is that when I use the Wealth Dynamics square, I find that the square takes on two different functions, if I can call it that, when I'm treating it inside the business as in a tool within the actual operation versus what the experience of the market would be of the business, and then it would take something else. So if we're looking at it from the market side of things, I would say leads actually falls into a dynamo thing because it's a question of what is the value that is enough for the market to buy. It's not like the market doesn't have money. It's just a question of are you delivering enough value and articulating it the right way. But on the internal side of things, as the business owner, I would then say that's that's a blaze or a tempo challenge more than a dynamo one. So
Yeah.
it's
So
almost like it
we are
depends which side
unblocking
of I'm
this from the
looking at.
point of view of the business, right?
Okay.
So this
So
is
blaze
what
that
has
way.
been identified in the team, that this is a block in the business, in the team. So you're absolutely right. That is going to sit in the blaze side. Yeah. Okay. So now in order to unblock this, I'm going to copy it and move it up here onto the fire part as well. Okay. In order to unblock, we know that the natural flow is going around this way. Okay. So lead sits here. We haven't got enough of the who, or we haven't got the right who. Now, obviously in your workshop, you're going to get very specific with it. I think there's enough here. Like you've all said quality leads, but also still shaping what your actual offerings are, therefore defining who the who is, and before we even get to kind of getting the leads in, right? But there's an energy and a concern around it. So we could create flow by just going from and unblocking it by moving from fire to tempo. Okay. This asks the question of when. But I'm assuming that you probably all feel like I do. It's like, well, that doesn't really answer my problem because when what, like when a future date, when we get to it, it's still very wishy-washy and it's not the right direction to look, right? So in order for us to unblock this, where we have clarity on it and we have even the right people coming through, we've mastered it, we're going to go upstream. So the simplest is if going forward does not move it, and sometimes this is just where it's not about going upstream and looking at what plumbing needs fixing. It's just get moving forward, right? Move it, go. Let's, like now, turn it on. This one we're going to go back. So for most people here, if we moved this back to the what, or the wood element, this is the what question, right? Like, what actually are we selling? What type of leads do we want? Who is our ideal customer, right? So even though I led that with a who question, it's what does our ideal customer look like? Which is that exactly what you said, Ross, right? Except you're still looking at it from, when you mentioned wood, you're coming from the dynamo and the customer's perspective as to the value match. Stay in the swim lane of the business problem, okay? Because as you unpack this, you're going to answer that through what is the customer promise, right? And testing it and seeing what the market says. Otherwise, it's all theoretical that it's going to be amazing. So this one's quite simple, right? If we come back to the what, do we think this is going to unblock the block? Let's get clear on what the actual ideal customer looks like. What else would go into the what question? Sorry, I'm going to open up my chat. Okay, some said steel, some said blade. So what other questions would we be asking at the what element? Clara, what do you think?
What can I do to find them?
Sorry?
What can I do to find them?
Mm-hmm.
To connect with them.
Yeah, which is touching on the pathway, right? So what is the strategy to find them? And strategy is a very dynamo what question. What's the strategy? What's the pathway? Michael, Linda, anything you want to add? What type of questions happen in here?
My brain is quite not awake yet, I realize. Do you have any ideas? What message do they want to hear? I don't know.
Yeah, what
Just brainstorming.
What promise did we have?
Yeah. What do we promise them? I don't know if that's
What
related.
do they want? Yeah, what promise?
Yeah. What's their problem? Oh, well, that's part of the ideal
Yeah,
client.
that's the 5
Yeah,
Ps,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but that sums it all up. And this is, I'm just going to add on here, like what does the ideal customer look like? Okay. If everyone who said yes, that this is somewhat of a block still, if you were to answer those questions, would it still feel like a block? Bally?
I think that would be a starting point, but I feel I would still need to ask who. So yeah, it would still feel like a bit of a block for me.
So when you say who, what do you mean by who?
Yeah, so I would be able to, as soon as I've done this with the rewriting of the ideal client and the steps, my next question instantly goes, who's going to be, like who's going to be the person that's going to help me get there? So yeah, it would
So
still feel a
who's going to
little
be the person that's going to help you get the leads?
yes, or support me in that.
Okay, yeah. So who's going to be on the team or that you outsource to that's going to help you put all of the, is it like put the tech in place, do the content, or is it to actually find the human that
Find
you
the
talk?
human. Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
find the
want,
actual
who's the salesperson going to be?
exactly. Yeah, that's the bit that I can do all the other stuff. That's the bit I'm
Okay.
weak on. Yeah.
Okay, so let me just move leads here to the middle. And so for Bally, this comes to then who is the salesperson. Okay. But that still fits with, even if you found the right salesperson now and they said, great, I'm ready, would you know what to have them sell?
Great point. That's what I was just saying. Once I have this, because that's what I'm refining at the moment, I would, once I have that, that would be my next take on this. How am I gonna, so I'm refining it at this present moment in
Perfect.
time. Yeah,
So
thank
what
you.
this is, hopefully this is illustrating, and we'll do another example in a second. But remember the order of questions. Why do we need leads, right? We start with why. Why do we need leads? Well, we need more leads because we need more sales, because we're doing a launch. We are wanting to pre-book out our event for next year. We'd like to have a waiting list on things like, why is it important? We need cash flow, Why is it important? Why might also be because this program or this product, we know when we have people engaging with it, it truly is going to transform lives. Okay. It's the question that connects you back to that bigger why. Then we go to what? Always in this flow. What is it? What is the product? It's all the dynamo. What does the customer avatar look like? What is the strategy to reach them? And then, so from the marketing, from the product assets, right? Are we going online? Are we going offline? Are we doing, referral partners only? What's the strategy at that dynamo level? That's what all of these things are. Then we move around into the who. And this is primarily, it can be who is the customer, but you really are answering that up here because this is who you're creating the product for, to solve their problem and deliver what they want. So you already know the customer at this point. This is exactly as Bally has said, who is going to do it? Who's going to post the marketing stuff? Or who is going to network with people? Or who is going to open the doors, in Clara's case, with those right ideal clients? Okay, so let's say we've got all three. I'm going to just run this one all the way through so we can see how it works. Let's say we've got that now. Okay, it's either, yep, I'm going to do it myself, or I've got the right person. And then it's like, it's still not happening. We've still got an issue with leads. Now it might make sense to come around to when, because this might be, well, we know why we're doing it. We know who our client is, and we've decided on the strategy, and we've got the promise, and we've got the marketing and the sales collateral, or maybe we haven't got the marketing and sales collateral yet, but we know who's going to do that. But the issue is we haven't set deadlines. We haven't said we're going to launch on this date, therefore these are the milestones in order for that launch, or we want the monthly content plan done by this Friday. So the when question becomes really important if we've answered all these others. If we've then answered the when, we've got the schedule and the timing, and it's still blocked, then it would mean at the still question, we'd be looking, we'd be analyzing it. Have we gone for Facebook and actually our people are on LinkedIn? Or are our people on TikTok? Or are they not on social media? And I need to actually look at my whole identity and how I get positioned to speak to the right people. How do I network with the key people? And networking doesn't have to mean networking events. How do you get to meet the key people? We're analyzing it here. We're looking at the data from the strategy that's already happened, and marketing, without data just becomes a guess as to what's working or not. And so again, this is analyzing it. This is getting into the nitty-gritty. What if we change the headline? What if our message was slightly different? Okay, so you're running it through, and or we just don't know how. We employed someone to do it, and it seems that they don't know how to do it. We kind of relied on them, but what we're seeing results-wise is they don't. So if we're stuck here where we're reviewing, we might go, okay, we need to go back and look at our who. Do we need to change it? Or is this who not clear on the what? Have they missed the mark? So you basically are following it back upstream to see where the leak in the plumbing system is. That's where it becomes so simple, right? Think of this as a plumbing system. The water's flowing. If it stops flowing, we've got to go back up through the piping system to see where the leak is or where the block is. First time when people hear this, it often is like, oh my gosh, this is confusing. But it actually is quite simple once we are thinking about those 5 questions, right, from the context of your business. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Okay. Did that make sense to people? Let's hear. Yeah, I've got a thumb up. Yeah. Ross, how about you? You were sharing it from 2 perspectives initially. What insight did that give you?
I definitely understand the concept of going back against the flow, as it were, to find out where the challenge is. So that makes complete sense to me. The part that is confusing for me is when you go backwards. How do you, if I can use the visual illustration, the dynamo, which set of arrows are you choosing to go backward on? Because I would have just gone back on the circle following the 5 elements, but you've got an internal set there as well, and I don't understand the correlation.
Yeah.
How do you, what are the criteria to determine which ones you use?
Yeah. So when you're unblocking it, if you're going 1 back, that's the first port of call, right? So you're going from fire to wood. If that answers it, then you stop there. That's it. This is what we need. We need to define our what, right? Let's define our what. And then you flow through again. You go, okay, well, even do it in mini little circles. In the Chinese elements, each element has every element inside of it. So it's like, even to go, all right, we've got to define the what. Then I would say, well, who needs to be in on this conversation? When are we going to have it? And how are we going to know that we've done it successfully? Okay, well, we're going to have our customer pathway mapped out. We're going to have our product pathway mapped out. And we're going to have what our first targets are for the numbers that we want. So we want X number of leads by this week, or we want X number of leads through this channel, X number of leads through this channel. And when you're starting out, it's a guess. It's until you actually get the data coming through that you can start to see when we do this, this happens. It really is a guess. You need to have data in there to be able to predict. Okay, so to answer that, always just go back around 1 on the flow. It's 80% of the time that will be the answer. Okay, it's normally just 1 around. If not, then go back. So if you're stuck at the blaze here, and it's like, no, that we kind of know this, right? We know this. It's still this person, it doesn't seem to be happening, or we're just a little bit, it's fallen by the wayside. Again, you can come back to when, you can flow forward to when. But if it's like, well, we have set the schedule, but people just aren't sticking to it, then it might go, well, do we have the right person? Yes, we have the right person. We believe in them. Then you would come, if you're kind of dilly-dallying between like this, I would start using the inside star, because this is what is going to accelerate. When you have a team aligned on the why, they are going to accelerate into action. So it's right. Why are we doing what we need to do? We've already got the what, right? Otherwise you'd flow this way. So we've already determined we've got the what. So we go back to the why. We regroup our who. We either flow back to when, or if we've already set the when, we already had this big discussion. Now it's like, it's all about action. I'm too busy. Don't care. Do it. I'm tired. Don't care. Do it. I don't have enough resources. Don't care. Do it. Right?
So how are the internal arrows then for the acceleration, or do they serve another
Yes.
function then? Okay.
They're for the acceleration.
Okay.
If you're going, so it feels a bit weird because we're saying go back to water to accelerate forward. So you're not like following the path. You're looking at what's the origin point of the acceleration.
Mm.
So the origin point of accelerating to fire is water, which is steam, right? We're going to accelerate from the what by making sure we have a when. We're going to accelerate. If our when keeps getting missed, sorry, let me say this the other way. If normally why is pretty solid, right? But if it's lost some luster, if people are like, they're not as excited about it anymore, then, which can happen when if you've got high dynamo people, sometimes I go, oh my gosh, I forgot. I actually created this whole thing, way back when, and it's perfect, but this is the problem with creators. So many million dollar creators, but $1 million inside of 4 walls and no one ever gets to see the stuff. So it might be that a little connection, hang on, what's my purpose? What am I meant to be doing? What's the purpose of the business? And then, now we pull out those things. Theoretically, it's probably a harder concept to grasp without having an exact one to play with, right? So here's what we're going to do. Aditi's going to send us into breakout rooms. You're going to be in 3s. Taiwan team will keep you all together. And I want you to, either pick a block from here that is yours, or just come up with what you feel is blocking you right now in business the most, and then nominate who is going to be the person that has the block that is going to be unblocked, who is going to be the person who unblocks it, and the third person will be an observer. Okay? So we're actually going to give you 10 minutes, and we'll probably go 5-10 minutes over today, but we'll give you 10 minutes to do that, and then we'll come back in and hear the experience. Yeah, Tina.
Sorry, I didn't get the question. What are we going to discuss about?
You're actually going to do an exercise of unblocking someone's block. Okay.
Oh,
So one person is going to choose a block of theirs, either from the board or what they feel is blocking them right now in business.
okay.
One person is going to be the person facilitating this conversation and asking them questions to see, where does it sit on the square? All those 5 elements. Are we going backwards? What would that look like? Are we continuing to go backwards in order to unblock and create flow again? And the third person is going to be an observer.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and so just have a go. There's no right or wrong. It's just getting familiar with it and the types of questions you would ask. This is really powerful because when you're coaching or mentoring or consulting people, this is what gives you an additional instant recognition as to how do you solve the problem. So it's not always like a very long-winded intellectualized answer. It can be as simple as, are you all on the same page with the what? If I asked you, could you tell me what it is? If I asked them, could they tell me what it is? And normally it's quite simple to move stuff through, right? Have a go. Let's see how you go. It may bring up more questions than it does answers, and that's okay too. All right, Aditi, let's go into the rooms. Oh, it's like riding a bike without training wheels for the first time, yeah? Okay, let's come to Team Bally, Michael and Linda. How did you go? Who'd like to share?
Well, Bally was the guinea pig, so please answer how your experience was.
Working with Linda, it took me back to one of the questions I was asking yesterday. So I went in with the question I thought I could be asking, perhaps should be asking, but it's the one that I've been asking about the client pathway came up for me. So yeah, brilliant questioning. By Linda. So thank you. I think I'll come
So
back
did you
to
get clarity on?
well, not well. When we say clarity, it means that it's tasked me with things to do, right? So now going away and saying what that is. So yeah, that's where the clarity is. Like, what are the steps, the piece that's missing? That's what it's got me thinking about much more.
Great. So what is that? What is your next step?
Yeah, my step is mapping out, right? So mapping out exactly what that client experience would look like. So an individual comes to me, I'm clear on that, because it's really easy for me to go, oh yeah, I'll do a 4-day workshop. I'll do this, I'll do that. So no. Map it out so it's clear of where they are in that journey.
So when you say the client experience, do you mean what the product is or the marketing experience and pathway?
What the actual product, yeah, so what is the overarching thing? And within that, what are the different parts of that? What are the different products within that? Does that answer that?
Yes. So you're kind of designing
Or the
your whole
pathway
business.
with, sorry.
Yeah, process. That's kind of what I'm doing. Yes.
Product pathway, you're saying, Linda? Yeah. Okay. Good thing that we're now doing really a whole session on that tomorrow. It was my executive decision just before. Okay, awesome. Michael, you were the observer by the sounds of things. So what observations did you have?
Well, as you said, it's trying it for the first time without the training wheels with it, but it was fun to see also how jumping who is not it's not the problem, but are you looking from your own point of view or are you looking at the client's point of view, and going back and forth to be clear on this is the person, or this is me, this is my business that I'm gonna only focus on. Then the clients, the customers comes in to make that clear when you start out. So I guess this is just a beginning thing, and then just trying to see are we going upstreams or are we going downstreams, and what question is it behind it. So it's many things right now that's we're trying out at the same time, and it creates more questions that comes up. And I guess that's when it comes up when we're going upstreams, when you're not maybe supposed to go upstreams. It's more things that comes up, so it gets it doesn't flow as easy then.
Here's what I'm thinking. I think that we should do a masterclass on the 5 elements and on unblocking blocks to flow, right? Because you've just learnt it for the first time today in this context. You're about to go and map out your own pathways and get your product clear and everything. But being able to, whether you choose to do an unblocking blocks to flow specific session or not, your job as a facilitator and a trainer or a consultant is to solve problems. And so being able to use these frameworks of the 5 elements to solve problems, I think is worthy of a masterclass for you. And also what we can tie in there is the wealth spectrum. So for example, with Bally's then, that is a classic yellow level. Second strategy, master your market. Okay, first strategy is identify your identity. Who are you? What do you stand for? What is your message? What is the thing that people will be attracted to you for? Both customers and referral partners. Then the second strategy is mastering your market, which goes through who is the ideal client. And you can even map out 3. What's your economy, business, and first class client? If you are just starting out, you can map 3, but choose 1, right? And put the other 2 on the back burner for once you've mastered the first one. But if you work through that playbook in mastering your market, it tells you to do that, right? It says map them. And often that solves the problem of when we're like, but who is it? Well, I want it to be this, and I want it to be that person, I want it to be that person. Actually saying, this is economy class, business class, and first class, it really helps you determine. So for me, I'm business class. I'd like to say I'm first class, but I know I've redefined what first class looks like, and I'm not. I'm business class at this point. I'm not economy class. Can I? Yes. Can I do it with ease? Yes. Do I enjoy it? Yes. Am I best at the business class side? Absolutely, without a doubt. So that's my one avatar. My pathway is built out for that. And then it's about, where are those clients? Who has them? Who do I need to be rubbing shoulders with and connecting with? Therefore, it sets the tone for what your marketing strategy is going to be as well, right? So why I've jumped to that is, again, your role as facilitators is to be able to guide and direct and help people solve their own problems, and also you solve problems for people, right? So it's the elements, it's the wealth spectrum, it's knowing when it's a profile issue, it's knowing when it's a project planning issue. So I think let's do, I'm up for it. Would you guys like a masterclass on bringing all of these multi-dimensional concepts together and we're going to do it on ourselves. You're going to come with your top two problems, and we're going to unpack them from there. And we'll do it in breakout rooms. I'll jump around, but I'll demonstrate to begin with, and we'll do nothing but that for a whole session. All right, lots of thumbs up on that one, because it's a lot, right? There's a lot to get. And I don't expect you all to master the things that have been shared with you over this week and last week overnight, right? So that being said, tomorrow I'm going to remove the accreditation piece. You are not going to need to present, so you can relax. It never was a part of the online program. It was always a part of the in-person. I thought that we could do it, but we're going to take it out, and we'll move that to, again, I would rather you get more in depth, feel supported over the next 3 months of being able to come back with questions, go and try it, and then let's get you to do, maybe we'll just do a video upload or something like that, right? Taiwan team, we'll have to work out what that is. Maybe we do it live and Tina, you're translating to me in my ear or something. We can definitely do that. So let's take the pressure off. No accreditation presentations tomorrow. Let's spend the whole session on your customer pathway and pulling what productization looks like. So what can I'm going to showcase some of my products. We're going to recap all of the team dynamics workshops. What does a 3-hour look like? What does a 1 day look like? What does a 2 day look like? How can you embed that with what you've already got? If you're taking it into your team, Grace and everyone, you might say you want to do a leadership retreat or a team retreat. Well, what other things do you want to do that we can then embed some of these activities and lessons into? One of my clients does a sales conference, so it's predominantly sales. but we will bring in 2 or 3 team dynamics type concepts and do 2 or 3 sessions on that. The rest of the time, they're breaking down their product knowledge, all the stuff that I don't need to know. I don't know how farmers read their soil and decide what fertilizer they need. So we bring those concepts in. So we're going to do that tomorrow. Come with your best thinking as to what you would like to do, what you're already thinking you might like to do, and we'll guide you through it from there. So there's always so much. I think I saw someone type 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah, this is why 5 days in person is still. I remember Michelle said, "Is 5 days enough for you, Donna?" Because I always want more, right? She's like, "It's 5 days in person enough for you?" I'm like, "I'll take 7, but sure, 5." And we pack it out, right? Because it's so experiential. You're learning the theory, but there's so many questions that come up. It's very exciting. So tomorrow, let's do that so that you can start making some cash ASAP with what you have learnt, and you can feel confident that it fits into your business pathway. And then we'll get those. Aditi, I'm not sure if Veronica's given you suggested dates for the masterclasses, but we will push them back so they're not 6 a.m. UK time. Okay? Is like 8 a.m. more reasonable? Good. Yes, Nina has both times with me, I think. Definitely she was there last year in February. Yes, I spoke to Nina last week. Okay, let's hear quickly one word that sums up how you're feeling at the end of the day. I'm going to come to Grace.
一个字总
因为
结。
因为我已经在想说，怎么把这几天的课程，就是实际应用在我们的公司的经营上面。然后像今天早上玩的那个圈圈叉叉的游戏，我觉得就直接可以让大家收到打破框架跟看到更多可能性这一件事，才会有助于团队动力去发展就是未知的项目。然后晚上就是下午这一趴，就是去了解很多的特质，然后去问每一个主赛的点啊，要问什么问题的时候，也可以结合在，就是我觉得我会想要就是在一开始启动这个计划的时候，邀请大家就是面对这个项目，然后遇到的障碍是什么，一样贴这个白板嘛。然后就是然后去做这样的活动的时候，然后用就是 AL 行动学习的那个coach技巧，然后让他们就是可以解开这 bug。然后，所以我觉得这个今天的课程的实用性非常高，这样。
Because today's session, she already think about how to use in her team, and then about the like tic-tac-toe that exercise, she think is very helpful to break everybody's structure and then know each other better and how to work together. And then the second session, she think this is a good system to support the people to know what's their blocks and how can they unblock it. And then also we learn how to coach the other people and support them to know the more clear pathway to solve their problem. So today's today's season, she think is very helpful.
Good. Very good. Thank you, Grace. Thank you very much. All right, let's come to Ross. You can say more than one word.
Equipped. I've been looking forward to PC for a long time. So I've had some ideas of how I would do it before I had the training, but I've always wanted to experience the training so that I had some more ideas about what the next steps would look like and how to do it to the same standard. So this has been great. Thank you.
Very good. Awesome. And it does get to a point where it's just so natural. It comes so natural to me that to teach it, I have to slow down and break it down again. Even I'm sure if you're all teachers and trainers, you have to do that, right? It's just so ingrained in me now. I'm like, hang on, let's unpack how I do that again. Okay, Clara.
Okay, I feel hungry, and that's nothing to do with breakfast. It's just that I've given a taster, but it was such a small spoon that I want more. And I have
See,
a
she's gone
question
from
at the
curious to hungry.
yeah.
And we got to get you satisfied.
I have a
Sime.
question at the end. After everyone, if you could answer it,
Okay,
please.
sure. Stephen.
Self-frustrated.
Ooh.
For half being in the new and half still being in the old. However, I have extreme circumstances like having to write an email about potentially taking a house sale off the market while doing this at the same time. So I've got all that in the background. So I'm just really looking forward to when all that's finished, because I can take the notes from here, because I'm like even when we were just doing that thing there where I was seeing in my black and white literal kind of, well, she has this problem, I'm going to solve the problem and stuff. But then Ross came along and quite rightly helped facilitate looking further than being stuck in the mad how disease and stuff. And so I know that I'm being blocked by these external things, but then I can't just, with this external thing, I can't just go, well, it's because I'm going down the pub at 5 o'clock or something, I can stop doing that. These real life things that I'm frustratingly can't move. And it's annoying because this is such value. And but maybe that is an even bigger learning because I'm having to go through this. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
And also trust, trust that you already have got so much that to master any of it the first time you hear it is a big call, right? So actually coming back, revisiting stuff, reaching out, connecting in, and let me say what one of my mentors said to me many years ago, actually on my 30th birthday, so a very long time ago. He actually wrote me a birthday card that said, I wish you all the misery in your world. And he's the most loving person, but he was a personal growth teacher. And like it was gold, because that's where we grow, right? Through our frustrations, through our challenges, through our misery is where growth comes.
Mine said you know more than you realize.
So maybe don't be so hard on yourself, and then you can relax into it more. Yeah, and trust that it's there and it will come up, and you've also got all of us that you can reach out to as well. Very good. Thank you for sharing, Stephen. Zoe.
自己觉得今天的东西让我比较多的疑惑，然后需要思考跟学习。但我觉得很喜欢早上，前半段那个圈叉的那个游戏，因为我觉得看到它可以是一个建立团队的方式。对，以上。
Today's session for her is a bit difficult. She has a difficulty to fully understand. She needed time to, digest all the thing about today. But the first session's exercise is a really good way to put teams' relationship more close, and that's really helpful for her.
Very good. Yeah. Let it digest. You'll be fine. Let's come to Kim.
那总结一个字的话，我觉得是期待耶。就是因为我现在公司也正在调整人事，跟接下来要加入新的 AIoT 的项目嘛，然后会对接更多的 的不同的人这样。然后如果这一套系统，如果我透彻清晰之后，就是用在有共同信念的人的伙伴的身上，然后会让团队运作更顺畅。所以我自己是期待。
If it's a one word for his today's sharing is looking forward, because this is he think, because now he's trying to work with different new, because he's going to build out the new system, then he has to work with so many different companies. So if he can get to know more well, or know about the system, then he has a maturity strategy to communicate with other companies or his co-workers. He thinks this is really exciting for him.
Very good. Great. The brain wheels will be turning. Who have I not asked? Michael and Linda, Bally, I think. Yeah, who'd like to go next? Bally.
Yeah, I love today. I know that I'm surrounded by lots of smart people, and I love it. So, there's a lot we can do, and and from our own perspective as business owners, but also helping others, as Kim was saying, that's where the power is in this. And I started off with being excited. I'm like super excited about what's coming next. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I've been raving about this program to everybody I know, as you can imagine. So yeah, thank you.
Oh, good. Fantastic. Linda and Michael.
Should I go? Well, today was kind of, how should I explain it? So to me, it feels like the journey that we're on in this training is like my own hero's journey, because I actually looked at the hero's journey again just a couple of days ago. And my journey is The Matrix, if any one of you have seen that movie. So it feels like, taking the red pill is like what we've done in this training. You can never ever see, the wealth spectrum, look at it in a different way. There's no way back now, because it has opened the eyes for so many other dimensions that I even thought was possible. And it feels like I've been going through my hero steps, the 8 steps, in this training. It's like, yeah, well, anyhow, so that's another dimension of it. So one of the things is that today was kind of, now I see all the jigsaw pieces, all the small pieces of the puzzle, and kind of, the main motive of the puzzle, and how all the bits and pieces is related to each other, but also how I myself can create new motives of the puzzle using the jigsaws, and they fit just as good. I don't know if this makes any sense at all, but it was kind of, well.
She's speaking like a creator. What's happened?
I know.
Chaos
I've been
that makes
spending time
sense.
with one. Yeah, well, and I have thousands of questions, follow-up questions on this. So let's have a rest. So thank you for today,
Yeah.
Donna. I became
maybe
a
we do.
dynamo.
Yeah. Is now the time to tell you all that there actually, and I have positioned it to Roger a couple of years ago, there's actually a whole nother 5-day course that can come on top of this. Just
I can imagine.
purely in Roger's stuff, in the application of it. I mean, I'm so embedded in it for 13 years now, and being a trainer and that on my own part before it. So yeah, but there's more than enough in this as well. And some of it is probably more my unique spin that sits over, in my side. Michael.
Well, I'm sticking with the word inspired in the beginning, but it's in a new level, which I was hoping for, and so forth, with the eye opening with the game that you took us through, and what happened well, the journey inside me through the game, but also in other people when they came to it. So it was a lot of fun, and that could not have been explained to us. We needed to live it, go through it. So it was fantastic. And I have many, many ways how to introduce it to other people and also help me to remind me myself of what's happening and to break the rules or create new rules or decide what the limitless of the things. And also taking through each problem that we have or issues, going back to the blocks of flow, using the star, you're going back to the elements and see how to backtrack and going upstreams. I needed to be reminded of that, because otherwise I feel like, okay, just going downstreams with things. But if it's a blockage, you need to go up there and actually might have fix it, because you might be the right, but you need to fix something. And just because it has not been a problem before doesn't mean it's never going to be a problem. So it just opened my eyes in business to other things that you might have stopped doing. And it just helped me with a lot of businesses, but also with other businesses, to open their eyes to to help them find actual problems and not just a band-aid, which I might work with.
Yeah. I love that. I think when you pause and recognize that to get something into flow, you might have to remove a block that's upstream rather than just push forward, can make things more efficient and less frustrating as well, because it's like we just try and push it downstream and it's not working, we just increase our frustration, right? And so that's just broadening the landscape on which to problem solve. And it's not even doing the technical problem solving. That's where everybody's genius on their technical expertise comes in. This is just a roadmap to kind of 5 questions to ask to before we even start the game. And then if we're playing the game and the game seems to be going off track, which question do we need to go back to? And you can apply that to anything. Yeah. Have I missed anyone? No. Okay. Clara, is your question direct to me or for everyone?
Well, it's more for you, I suppose. So when I did the flow consultant certification, the person I chose to be my guinea pig, she's a master in Chinese metaphysics, and Bazi and Feng Shui and all that good stuff, all studied in China. And she at the time said that there was some disconnect between what she knows in terms of the elements, the seasons, whatever, that they didn't match the Chinese knowledge that she had. Yeah. And since you're an expert, and that has stuck with me. At the time, I didn't explore it any further because it was also new to me that whatever she told me, I wouldn't understand. So, but that's I've been keeping in the back of my mind.
So what's your question?
As someone who knows the Chinese metaphysics, that is there, because it had something to do with either with the seasons or with the elements, or that in this the matching
I got you.
doesn't correspond. Yeah.
I haven't found a mismatch from what I know, but I certainly have another dimension of it that I am familiar with using. It doesn't make it different or wrong. And I know Roger has that knowledge as well. His mum is Chinese. She is a remarkable Chinese medicine practitioner. He has it. It's just the way he's communicated it in a mainstream kind of language. Tomorrow, when I show you one of the products that Focus and Flow. I'll show you the 5 elements and my interpretation of it, which again is by no means the full interpretation, but how it's probably a bit of that segue, Clara, that you're referring to, like it communicated in a business sense and it communicated in a pure metaphysical sense. Mine's probably a blend of the two. So let's see how that works for you tomorrow.
Thanks.
Bye, beautiful people. I've held you up. See you tomorrow, same time. Bye.